Good morning, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about how to style for your human design. So, this has come up a couple of times over the last 24 hours. I was interviewed for a podcast yesterday and I was asked the question around whether you can style for your specific human design type. And I'm going to share with you some further thoughts from that. And also, I've just been on a call with one of my amazing clients who is about to go into step into an opportunity that I think will be absolutely incredible for her and her visibility. And we've been looking at what she's going to wear for that. So, for those of you who have never seen or heard me, my name is Abigail Rebecca. I am a human design visibility coach, but I am also a trained stylist at the London College of Fashion. I'm an EFT practitioner as well as being a human design expert. And if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that clothing style, our visual vibe is something that really lights me up and something that I talk about a lot. There is no doubt whatsoever that my personal style, my style vibe attracts my clients, it attracts my tribe, and the way that we dress, the way that we present ourselves is really, really important, right? For when we are, as entrepreneurial women, going out there, being more visible on social media, speaking on stages, being interviewed on podcasts, radio shows, on TV, promoting our products, promoting our services, in whichever way that you want to be visible. As you are being visible, you want to be able to showcase yourself as a credible expert, as a thought leader, and also to be really approachable, right? And I do feel that learning about our human design really gives us access to that. So there's just a few thoughts that I was literally just on a call with my client just now, and I'm like, I need to get off. We'd finished our session, but I was like, I need to get off because I was like sharing all these things, and I was like, I need to do it on a Facebook Live. So this is what I'm doing. So if you are jumping on and watching me live, I am streaming live on lots of different platforms. Hi, thank you for joining me. If you are watching the replay, hi, in whatever capacity you are watching me, if you have any questions or thoughts or ideas, then please pop it in the comments below, and I always come back and I always check and I can answer your comments and questions if you need me to. So let's just talk about, first of all, your personal style, like the way that I was traditionally trained in styling. So I don't do this now. I'm not a personal stylist. I don't just style women. What I do is I work with women one-on-one and workshops, VIP days. We host beautiful retreats all around the world. And as part of that, I take them through the Illuminate method, which is basically a method that I have created that helps entrepreneurial women be more visible, be more confidently expressed, so that they can attract clients and other business opportunities, and they can position themselves as credible and visible leaders, right, in their field. So part of that process, if I am working with a woman one-on-one, for example, and she is learning about her human design, setting out her intentions. We're putting together a visibility strategy for her based on our human design. We're putting, we are looking at ways that we can leverage her visibility. A big part of that is actually, it's not just how she looks, it's also how she feels. And I always talk about like how a personal style is like a visible representation or manifestation of how we're feeling inside. So, of course, when I'm working with a woman, and she is going through that transition, and she's starting to feel more confident, and she's starting to trust herself more, and she's starting to realize what a freaking wonderful powerhouse she is, and how credible she is, and how much experience and knowledge that she has that she's going to share with the world. Of course, she's going to look at maybe showing up and dressing differently. And that's where my expertise as a personal stylist comes through. So what I've just been doing with my client now is just sharing with her some insights and maybe some thoughts that she might not have necessarily thought about. The event that she's going to is a 6-day event, and it's going to be a big deal for her. She's going to have the opportunity to meet new people, to network, potential clients, lots of potential clients, to be able to kind of position herself maybe even like at a higher level in terms of the people that she's going to be hanging out with at the event. It's also going to be an incredible opportunity for her to take some photos and videos that she can use to promote herself on social media, not only now but also in the future. I'm like, you need to be taking photos and videos of yourself that are like stock photos, like lifestyle photos. So she's got to think about the outfits that are going to be able to represent herself, and is going to be able to tell a story about who she is and what she does. And like her future clients need to really understand the vibe that they're going to be stepping into when they're working with her. And she's going to be able to relay that unspoken communication through the way that she dresses. So it's thinking about these things, like what are the clothes that are going to look good on camera, what are the clothes that are going to make me look good, what are the clothes that are going to make me feel good, that are going to be able to paint this visual brand around me and around my business and around my services, but also really dressing intentionally for her human design, because she's a generator. And her strategy within human design is to wait to respond. So how is she going to be able to create outfits and styles every day that will provide a perfect opportunity for people to come and approach her and initiate a conversation that she can then respond to, and then she can actually step into her pure brilliance, and it can start a conversation that, who knows where that conversation is going to lead, right? Maybe a beautiful friendship that will last throughout her life, or maybe a 20 grand client, right? So she is now going to be going away and creating these outfits intentionally and consciously thinking, okay, how am I going to be able to style for my human design? We're going to be going back and forth on Voxer like I always do with my clients, and she's going to be sharing the outfits with me, and we're going to be doing like a bit of a virtual styling session. But that's by the by. So when I trained to be a stylist at the London College of Fashion, I was traditionally trained on how to dress a woman for her body shape, her body type. So the shape of her body, the shape of her bones, the proportions of her body, because some of us have got longer legs than others. Some of us have got deeper waists than others. Some of us have got longer necks than others. Some of us have got wider shoulders than others. Some of us have got wider hips than others. So all of that needs to be taken into consideration. Also, the colour of her hair, the style and the texture of her hair, her skin tone, her eye colour, her lip colour. There's loads of considerations and factors that we would need to think about if we were gonna style you, like style myself, style you. So these are the traditional methods of styling. So obviously, whenever I style a client, of course, I'm going to be taking those factors into consideration. Also looking at like what the visual vibe is like. So how do you want to show up in this world? How do you want to make people feel? Like, what's your vibe? You know, are you more kind of corporate executive? If you are, you're probably not going to come and work with me. Or you're more kind of like boho vibe or goddess energy. Like what is your brand? How do you want to show up? Like, what are your comfort levels? Like, can you rock a pair of heels all day long, or are you more comfortable in Doc Marten boots? So this is all the things that we need to take into consideration. What I wanted to talk to you very, very briefly today on this particular video is taking it one step further and actually relating it to your human design. Now, I'm going to talk about the different strategies that we all have within the 5 human design types. The human design styling does not stop here, because it's not just about the strategy. It's also like what your authority is, what your profile is, what your environments are, what your centers are, whether they're open, whether they're undefined, whether they're defined, like going into the different gates, the different channels. We can really go there, and we can definitely go down the rabbit hole and be very, very specific about your styling for human design. But that, of course, is a whole like 6-month course that I've probably got within me to create one day. At the moment, I'm not doing it, but what I did want to do is share it with you, share some of the things with you. And then if you feel intrigued and you like the idea of working with someone who will help you with really understanding yourself through your human design and removing the blocks that are stopping you from going out there and being more visible, and creating systems around you to support you in your business as you grow, and then, you know, obviously like going out there and being more visible, then just contact me, because I do actually have a couple of spots available for private coaching, a couple of spots that will be opening at the beginning of July. And you can always reach out to me and discuss what that would look like if you are ready to take this step. So let's go back to styling for your human design. I just wanted to take you through the 5 different human design types. At this level, generators, manifesting generators, we're actually going to group together when I talk about the strategy. But there are 5 different human design types. I'm sure that you know this already. But we have got manifestors, we've got generators, manifesting generators, we have got projectors, and we have got reflectors. Okay, so those are the 5 different types. So when we look at the strategy of all of this, I'm going to I think probably the best thing to do for it to make it really, really simple for me to explain and for you to take this on board is to talk about the human design type, and then talk about the strategy, and then talk about how you can consciously dress for that strategy. I'm going to be going for about another 10 minutes if you're watching me live. I don't want to make this too long. But I'm also aware that this is a really juicy subject, and I think this has got legs, and I'm going to be talking about it a little bit more. Okay, and if you've got any questions, as I said before, comment below, because I'd love to hear what they are. So first of all, let's talk about the manifestor. Manifestors are designed to be the only human design type to initiate. Okay, so everyone else, we need to wait. But for manifestors, you need to initiate. Now, your strategy is to inform others before you initiate, because if you don't inform others, you're going to throw people off balance. They're not going to expect what's coming. You can seem a little bit unpredictable to other human design types, and that makes people very nervous. So, if you go and initiate without informing those people around you that need to be informed, i.e., just to give you a heads up, I'm going to go and do this. And I just want to make a caveat here that this is not asking for permission. This is actually informing someone. It's just like courteously informing someone. You still go ahead and do it. You don't need their permission to do it. You're a freaking manifestor. But but if you don't inform them, they will put blocks up, they will put roadblocks up. So one of the ways that you can consciously style yourself and dress as a manifestor is to, when you put that outfit on, you ask yourself, is this going to create a vibe where people won't block me, where people won't stand in my way? So it's almost like people see you, like as a manifestor, people think that you want to be in control all the time because you've got this independent energy, right? So sometimes that's going to ruffle people's feathers. So it's almost like when you're dressing intentionally, you need to ask yourself, the way that I'm showing up and the way that I'm dressing, am I going to be ruffling people's feathers? Now, what comes immediately to me when I think of this is the colour red. So if we look at colour psychology, look at the colour red and the way that people react to the colour red. The colour red is the sign of love, right? But it's also the sign of death. It's like, it can incite fear in people because it's the colour of blood. So red is like a really red is a colour that can really evoke certain responses within people, and very often it kind of evokes like the fight or flight reaction that we have as humans. That's why when I used to actually be a full-time stylist, if I was styling for someone to go to an interview, I'd be like, don't wear red, because it can really antagonize people. So as a manifestor, if for that day you want to be able to create a path for people to like get out of your way and like accept what you're doing and not put any roadblocks or barriers up, I would suggest that you don't wear red. I would suggest that you wear a colour that maybe allows people to trust you, to be more trusting of you, like blue or green. That's a really good colour. When people see blue or green, they trust you. That's why politicians are often seen wearing blue ties. That's why a lot of medical staff wear green or blue, right? Immediately we trust people. Green is the colour of nature, right? So we trust it. So that might be something that you need to be mindful of when you're dressing. I'm just going to give a tip for one tip for each design type, otherwise I'm going to be here forever. So manifestors, if you're watching this, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Like, test it out, let me know how it goes. I was on a call yesterday with a manifestor and she was wearing a beautiful blue, I think it was like a blue cardigan or a blue shawl, and I was like, yes. And it was like a light blue. So not only, she's blonde, and she's got probably like a little bit of a lighter skin tone than me. So not only was it really complementing her colours, her own body colours, it was also really like giving people the opportunity to like not be ruffled by her, right? That they would trust her with the blue colour. So that was like the perfect outfit for her. Right, okay, generators, manifesting generators, I'm going to group you together. You are very different, but your strategy is the same. It's to wait to respond. So this is the conversation that I was having with a client today. She is a generator. And what I was saying to her is, because the strategy is to wait to respond to something, you need to be dressing intentionally to give someone the opportunity to initiate so that you can respond to them. So conversation starters, what are some good conversation starters? It might be like the color of the clothes that she's wearing, or a statement earrings, or a statement necklace. So it's like standing in front of the mirror when you're getting dressed and asking yourself, will this outfit give other people the opportunity to initiate so I can respond to them? And here's something that I'm just going off on a bit of a tangent with, but it's something that came up and I think it's something that's really important. What she said to me is, she has like a stock reaction, like a knee-jerk reaction to people complimenting her. So when you are dressing intentionally and consciously for your type, i.e. generator, manifesting generator, one of the things that you might want to kind of encourage is for people to compliment you on your outfit. I really love your dress. And then you can come back with a response, and then you can start a conversation with it. What her stock response is, oh, thank you so much. It was only £5 from so-and-so. Okay. How many of you can relate to that? It might be a different response that you're giving. Oh, this old thing, I've had it in my wardrobe for ages. Oh, that, so it's almost like you're like, people are coming in and they're complimenting you, but you're not receiving that compliment. It is you responding to that and saying, oh, thanks, this old thing, or thanks, it was only so-and-so from such and such a place. Is that a high vibe response? Is it a response that comes from a place of abundance? Or could the response be, thank you so much, I really love it too, it makes me feel really good, I got it from, such and such a place. Or like one of the examples that we were using was, she said like, like a jacket that she might have worn and she's got it like secondhand or something, right? Which can I just say, when we're talking about dressing consciously, like I love to go to dress agencies. I love to go to charity shops. I love to go on to online shops like Vinted and Depop. I'm sure there's other versions. They're the ones in the UK. And I love to go on there and I love to source one-of-a-kind vintage clothes. I love it. It makes me feel really abundant. Not only am I consciously shopping because I'm not buying throwaway items that, just wearing dresses that are just going to see me for a season and then I throw it away. I'm actually dressing consciously. I'm looking for things that stand out. So instead of saying, oh, this jacket, I got it from, a charity shop or I got it secondhand, you could say, this jacket, yeah, it's vintage and I sourced it. I had a vision of what I wanted in my head and I found it. I can't believe it. I walked into this shop and it was there in front of me and I love it so much. Like, do you wear vintage clothes? It's just a different stock answer. So get into the habit of doing that. So look at, as a generator, manifesting generator, look into the mirror. Is this going to enable people to be able to initiate so that I can respond? Okay, projectors. I'm a projector. We need to wait to be invited. So we need to wait to be invited into conversations, into opportunities. So we're still waiting, like generator, manifesting generator, but we're actually waiting to be invited actually by a physical person. So as I am dressing as a projector, I am consciously dressing, I am dressing with purpose, and I am saying, am I dressing in a way that gives someone the opportunity to invite me into doing something? Now, colour plays a big part of this. Because I love to wear black and I own black. I don't wear black because I'm trying to hide. I wear black because I'm not trying to stand out. I am standing out. I want to stand out. I dress in black because it makes me feel really powerful and it makes me feel really confident. But I also like to incorporate, if I am wearing black, I like to incorporate colours in. So the example that I use with my client is, and I also obviously have nails, right? So that's another conversation starter. I have onboarded a lot of clients through my nails. But if we look at my ring, I know that when I go out and about, I will get complimented about this ring. So I always have a story about so if there's something that people compliment me about again and again, I think, well, what could be a story that I could tell about this? A really quick story to then enroll someone in a conversation so that they can invite me into things, right? So the story around this ring is, Thank you. If someone compliments me on this ring, thank you. I love this ring. It's Larimar. Did you know that Larimar can only be found in the Dominican Republic? I didn't know that until I went to live there, and I lived in the Dominican Republic for 6 months. I left a piece of my heart there, so I wanted to bring a piece of Larimar back with me so that every time I look at this ring, I remember the beautiful island and my beautiful experiences in Dominican Republic. Okay? And then that can then lead into a conversation. Oh, what did you go to the Dominican Republic for? Like, how did you find it? How long ago was that? Right? Immediately I'm in a conversation. And then if we're vibing, then that gives them the opportunity then to invite me into something. Okay? Because I will then talk about the fact that I love to travel, and that I created my business around my love of travel. And I built my business in a way that enables my business to run while I'm traveling because I love to travel. And that could then lead into a conversation about my business and potentially how I could help them in their business and to be more visible. So do you see how this works? The last profile or type that not profile sorry the type that I wanted to talk about is reflectors. Now, reflectors are so special. 1% of the population, a unicorn. I don't know why, like, every time I think about reflectors, I think like white. I just think like real, like, white, bright radiance light. Amma, the hugging saint, is a reflector. She's always dressed in white. I just feel that from reflectors. I'm not saying if you're a reflector you need to dress in white. I just say that that's the color that I see. But reflectors need to wait a whole lunar cycle. That's like approximately 28.5 days to make a decision. And I'm not talking about like a decision like, what am I going to have for my dinner? You don't have to wait a full moon cycle to decide that. But if it's like a decision in your business, or you've had an opportunity, you've been invited into something, like to collaborate with someone, or like, it really pays because all of your centers are open. So what you're doing is throughout the whole lunar cycle, you're sampling lots of different energies and bringing it in. And that will then enable you to come to a really juicy decision at the end of it that will really serve you well. So what you're also doing at the same time is that you are kind of like sampling the opinions of other people. So what you want to be, so your environments are really important to you, where you hang out, your communities, you're hanging out with the right people. So what will really help you to be able to do that, because you want to be taking on the wisdom of the right people, the people that get you, the people that are aligned to you, the people that your vibe. So I would pay really a lot of thought to go into your outfit to think, is my outfit attracting like the people that I need, that will really be able to help me kind of form an opinion of my decision at the end of the 28-day cycle. More so than any other human design type, actually. But also, it's really important for you to feel grounded, because as you go through this whole 28-day cycle, as I said before, you're going to be sampling and taking in the energy, the thoughts and the opinions of other people. Sometimes it can feel like you're a little bit like, it can feel a bit wobbly. And you can also feel a little bit invisible in your environments, because not everyone will see you. So the question that I would ask when you're looking in the mirror is, in the outfit that you're wearing and the accessories that you're wearing, do I feel visible? But also, more importantly, do I feel grounded? Is my outfit grounding me? So it might be that there might be a certain color that makes you feel grounded, like black makes me feel grounded. But for you, it might be white, or it might be like a blue or emerald green that makes you feel really, really grounded, I would definitely look at the different tones of green that suit the color of your hair and your face and your eyes, because green is the color of nature, and nature also makes you feel very, very grounded. So it's almost like, how can I incorporate that feeling of groundedness from nature into the clothes that I'm wearing? So obviously the color green will be able to satisfy that very nicely. Or it might be that you want to bring some more elements. It might be that you want to wear flowers, or like things from nature, like leaves. Like, I saw the most amazing like statement necklace the other day, and it was all like the prayer plants. It was all like prayer plant leaves. That was like, it was huge, and I'm like, oh, that would be amazing for a reflector. Okay, so those are the 4 different strategies. Those are the 4 different answers, questions to ask yourself. Of course, as I said before, there's so many layers of this, there's so many elements of this. I'm not going to overwhelm you on a live video like this, but what I will do is I want to invite you and encourage you to ask any questions that you might have about this, whether it's specifically for your human design styling, or whether it's for styling for your body shape and your skin tone, or any other questions around being visible. And about feeling confident, and about being confidently expressed, and about showing up with presence and impact on the stages, the either in-personal stages or the virtual stages that you want to show up on. Thank you so much for watching. We've massively gone over time, but I think it was needed. Have an amazing day, and see you soon.